Angéline Mukandutiye returned to Rwanda on the 21st of this month among 1,471 people to come back to the country, 71 of whom had been fighting for the FDLR terrorist group, most of whom played a role in the 1994 Tutsi genocide. At the time, she even spoke to us after being received at the Nyarushishi transit camp in Rusizi district of the Western province. Considering my age, it will depend on what sort of work I can get. When I fled, I was strong, but now you can see that I am old and no longer strong. I will therefore do work I can manage. Showing her face on national television as a convicted genocide perpetrator may not have been a good idea, however, because soon after social media sites were ablaze, with many asking if she was not the very same school inspector here in Kigali City back in 1994 when she committed her crimes in what used to be Nyarugenge commune. Genocide survivors say she played a leading role in the atrocities that were committed at Saint Famille and Saint Paul churches.
Mukandutiye Angéline mu gihe cya Genocide yakorewe Abatutsi yaranzwe no kuba umwe mu bayobozi bakomeye b'Interahamwe.
Angéline Mukandutiye was among the most powerful Interahamwe militia leaders during the Tutsi genocide in this area that used to be the sector of Rugenge. Her house was a gathering point for the militia, where they gathered for instructions in the morning before the killings began, and afterwards they would take to her the national IDs of those they had killed, and she would rebuke them when some individuals were found not to have been killed yet. That was the case with one of my co-workers. They killed her husband and children, and when the killers presented to Angéline their ID cards, she asked why that of Agnes, my co-worker, was not among them. My son, Gacaca, was taken on that date of the 14th, along with 5 other men. We were all in Saint Paul. The killers were following her instructions. After she was positively identified as the same Angéline responsible for so many deaths, she was promptly arrested, and the Minister of Justice, who is also the Attorney General, Johnson Musinje, made this announcement on Twitter. Angéline Mukandutiye was sentenced to life in prison by Gacaca courts, a sentence she is yet to fully serve and is therefore now at the Mageragere prison. The news has been welcomed by genocide survivors, and officials at the Rwanda Demobilization and Reintegration Commission say this is not the first time genocide perpetrators have been found among returnees, especially those forced to return by officials in the DRC, and all must answer for their crimes. More than 2,400 Rwandan nationals have now returned to the country after the armed forces of the DRC began launching attacks on armed groups in the forests of the eastern DRC this year.